Mark Rogers TV's college football predictions. Can't believe it's week 10. College football has almost concluded for 2017. Let's soak up the action. Let's cherish it. We've got some great games upcoming and some phenomenal matchups. All right. Last week, I finished up at 128-35 through last week. 128-35. That's straight up against the spread. 95-65. That's pretty darn good, around 60%. The confidence picks, man, I've gotten burned by 3 consecutive bad beats. I'll stop whining. 18-12. Confidence picks, that's not as good as we would like on the confidence picks. 18-12 against the spread, still going to make you money, but man, so close to being like 21, 22 wins in that category. All right, let's get to it. And again, I advise you from week to week, from time to time, that these just come off the top of my head, basically. I would like to get these predictions out earlier. I know that the noon kickoffs are just about 15 or 20 minutes away. I strive just about every week to get these predictions out on Thursday to catch the Thursday and Friday games. I've done that in the past, had the predictions out on Wednesday or Thursday. I have just been just buried, as you can see by the video output this season. So I hope you enjoy the videos that we crank out each and every day. Just about all the games that I predict right now, I've got video previews on from some of the best bloggers, broadcasters, and writers across the country. So check them out, people from SB Nation, 24/7 Sports, Inside the ACC, and so forth. So please check out the videos. We've got plenty of previews from various angles and so forth. My top 25 as well, and why it doesn't make sense from week to week. So if you've caught me for the first time, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you love college football, I don't know why you wouldn't. You can see the video output, and it's quality stuff, not the typical drab crap that you see out there with the typical rhetoric and cliches on predictions and previews. All right, let's get to it. Without further ado, Wisconsin, Illinois. Badgers blow them out. I'll take the 27.5. Stay far away from this one. A noon kickoff in Champaign. All right, we've got a confidence pick right out of the gate at noon. Miami, 20.5-point favorite at North Carolina. The Canes, this could be a trap, of course. North Carolina's played a couple decent teams fairly close, i.e. Louisville early, but that appeared to be a top 15 team. It's not. And North Carolina decimated by injuries, missing its top running back this week, Michael Carter, as well. So take the Canes minus 20.5. This could be a letdown. This could be a trap in between Georgia Tech and Syracuse. And now next week, the big showdown against Virginia Tech. But Miami kicks it into gear in the fourth quarter, and they cover the 20.5 against UNC. Confidence pick. Oklahoma State, West Virginia, huge game in the Big 12. Cowboys going to go on the road. They've got the better defense. They defeat West Virginia on the road. I know that they're missing 2 of their key offensive linemen. I do like the Mountaineers plus the 7 points in Morgantown. Oklahoma State wins. West Virginia covers the 7. All right, confidence pick here with Michigan Rutgers. So I typically pick the top 25, all the games in the top 25, even if they're 45-point spreads. Pick all the top 25 games, and then I search around for some decent matchups or some premier teams that are playing. Michigan unranked for the first time this year. I still got to pick the Wolverines here. This is a confidence pick. They annihilate Rutgers today, coming off the annihilation that they suffered in Happy Valley last week. Michigan gets the offense generated today. They cover 23.5. Confidence pick against the Scarlet Knights. No, not 78-0 like last year, but at least by 24 points. Ohio State, Penn State, game of the day. I usually save these for the end, but I'm going in chronological kickoff order. 3:30 game, or the 4 o'clock game on Fox, I should say. Ohio State, Penn State. The Nittany Lions looked amazing last week. They have the more explosive, proven offense. We'll see what the Buckeyes have in store since the Oklahoma debacle. The much improved, heralded improved Ohio State passing game. I like the Buckeyes to squeak out a win at home. Tremendous defensive play out of the Buckeyes, containing Saquon Barkley. Maybe that's a $125 on the ground and getting some key turnovers in the passing game. Ohio State does just enough to win this one, but take Penn State plus 7 It started at 7. It dove down to 6 based on what I saw throughout the week. I saw the lines at 7 this morning. Take Penn State plus a touchdown. That's just way too much for this talented of a football team that is battle tested. All right, Georgia, Florida, typically a good game. Not this time around. Yes, the Gators have the defense to keep it close. If they get some special gains in the special teams and offensively for the first time this year, but Georgia wins it going away minus the 14. Yes, it'll be a competitive game most of the way, but Bulldogs pull away minus 14. TCU, Iowa State take the Cyclones plus a 7. Horned Frogs get the close win on the road. Notre Dame, North Carolina State. I like the Irish at home. North Carolina State shows up, makes it close enough. Take the 7.5 points with NC State against Notre Dame. Huge game there, of course, for both teams trying to make a college football playoff appearance. For NC State in the ACC, this doesn't count, but toward a college football playoff appearance with one loss and Clemson up ahead, it is huge. Washington, UCLA. I like the Bruins with a 17.5. I think that's way too high, even though they're on the road and the defense has been shoddy. They've got Josh Rosen, and they've got a Washington team that has yet to prove anything against any decent opponent. Yes, Washington's probably the best team in the North Division at least, but they're going to have to show me something against, again, UCLA's not even a good opponent, a decent opponent. Washington wins, UCLA plus the 17.5. Okay, here's your upset special of the day. It's not a huge point differential, but in regards to the standings, Michigan State with still aspirations of winning the Big Ten. They just have the one loss against Notre Dame. They're undefeated in conference play, going to Northwestern. The Wildcats step up at home. They upset Sparty, so take Northwestern plus the 2 points, and they also win the football game. We've got South Florida taking on Houston. All right, this one, an interesting one. Take the Cougars plus the 11. South Florida has been underperforming against pretty marginal competition. Houston underachieving. They step up on the road in this one, and they make it close. Houston plus 11. South Florida finds a way to stay undefeated. Central Florida blows out Austin Peay. I'm not touching this line. It's like 45 points. Forget it. Texas A&M, Mississippi State. We add this as an additional game. Just interesting to me. Decent teams in the SEC. Texas A&M at home. Mississippi State started the week as a favorite. I saw on some boards they're now a 3.5 point underdog. So I'll take the points since it passed that threshold of a field goal. Mississippi State plus the 3.5, but Texas A&M squeaks out a win. All right, Purdue, Nebraska. Why would I pick this game? These teams aren't sniffing the top 25. This came out early this week as Purdue a 6-point favorite against Nebraska. Now, I know the Huskers have been awful, and you can't go by the names on the jerseys or the decals on the helmets, but 6 points for a Purdue team that just lost to Rutgers by 2 points. And I know that they dominated statistically, but they found a way to lose the game. It's down to 4.5. I'll keep it on my board. Take Nebraska plus the 4.5 points. Purdue does win the game in a close one in West Lafayette. Big game in the Big 12 with Oklahoma taking on Texas Tech. A scary opponent for them, but they are at home. So take the Red Raiders plus the 20.5. Despite their recent letdowns, Texas Tech having a strong year. Oklahoma does win to march on in Big 12 play. Clemson-Georgia Tech. Again, like most of these games, we've got tons of previews for you to size up the matchups and the rivalry. And this one, an underrated rivalry, cross-division in the ACC. They play every year. Clemson wins at home against Georgia Tech. But look at the Yellow Jackets' performance. Tennessee on opening night. I know the Vols have crashed and burned since, but still putting up 44 against Tennessee. The performance at Miami a couple weeks ago in which they would have won aside from a deflected pass on 4th down. I like Georgia Tech to keep it close enough. Let's say 10 points. Georgia Tech plus 14 against Clemson. Tigers win the game at home. Let's go out to let's stay with the ACC. One more right here. Virginia Tech covers 16 against Duke. I would stay away from that game, but Virginia Tech, I believe, much better than Duke and getting ready for Miami with maybe the best defense in the ACC. most likely the division. Will give it to Clemson. Still Miami, Virginia Tech right there on the defensive side, as well as North Carolina State. All right, USC, Arizona State, as we go to the Pac-12 to finish up for the night. USC wins a close one. Arizona State take the points. They're playing for something. USC has been disappointed about its season. So you've got emotionals going in opposite directions right there. USC wins. They've got better talent. Arizona State plus the 3.5 points at home. Wazoo covers 1.5 points, but this is an upset special waiting to happen. But because of the inconsistency out of the passing game for Arizona, I will go with, even though Khalil Tate's amazing, Wazoo covers 1.5 against Arizona. Cal and Colorado. The only reason I picked this one up, I'll steal this one from our buddy Josh Parcell from College Football Country. We previewed this one this week. It got all of like 3 views. You can imagine Cal and Colorado, but he loves this one. With Cal on the road at Colorado, I think there's a reason that they're a 4-point underdog, but we'll take them anyway. Cal did show us what they could do early in the season against North Carolina and Ole Miss, and then specifically 2 weeks ago against Washington State. The complete aberration, 34-point win against a top 10 team at the time. All right, we take Cal minus 4 points at Colorado. I don't know. We're going to steal that one from Josh and let it fly and put it on our record, good or bad. All right, there's the Week 10 selections for college football. Please join me for instant analysis. So as the games go final, I pick out key games, bring on some contributors at times, and we run down the game as the clock hits 0. Please join me right here on Mark Rogers TV.